Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live Argentina discussion. My name is Roy Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com. I am joined by Osvaldo Godoy, also of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and we have so much to talk about when it comes to the Argentina national team. Argentina versus Uruguay on Friday, after that versus Brazil in the South American World Cup qualifiers. The players that are not part of the team, whether it's injury or not, the biggest name, of course, Lionel Messi. And before we get into it, as always, let us know down below where you're watching from. We tend to get from all around the world. And as always, Osvaldo, how are you? How is everything?
I'm doing well. There's a lot to talk about. Very surprised as most of the people I'm sure are watching about Messi not being able to play this huge double match. They were just talking, Roy, just a couple of minutes ago before going live, how this might have been the last opportunity for Messi to play against Brazil or Uruguay. If we take into consideration that the World Cup might be his last tournament, and maybe we have to face them in the World Cup. Uh, but other than that, I think it's a big surprise. No Messi, no Paulo Dybala, who we could think that he would be his replacement. So we'll see. We'll see how Scaloni decides to make the starting lineup against Uruguay and against Brazil.
Yeah, some big names missing. Obviously, mentioned Messi, Dybala. We're going to get through the names that are not part of this team in the end. And yeah, we were talking about it. Unless Argentina plays Brazil or Uruguay or both of them at the World Cup, that is pretty much it. No more Lionel Messi in all likelihood against them, against both of those teams. Before we get into everything, let's take a look at the chat. BC, hello, BC. I'm guessing BC all the way from NYC. BC saying Messi has missed half his games for club and country since moving to the MLS. He's missed a fair bit. I don't know if half, but he has certainly missed a fair bit. The Thrill, good evening, The Thrill. Thank you for joining us. Shop Fitness, much love from Malaysia. Look at that. From Sabah, Malaysia. Hello to you as well. Rian and Rihanna, welcome to you. Welcome back as well. George, welcome, George, as always. Joel, hello, Joel. Hey, boys, good to see you. Looking forward to this live. Thank you so much for joining us, Joel. And the Thrill, looking forward to seeing how the team reacts without Messi. Echeverri makes the list. Echeverri does not make the list. So he is not part of this team. And you know what? Let's take a look. Let's see finally what is the or the players that have been called up ultimately for Argentina. If we take a look here, Emiliano Martinez, Jeronimo Rulli, Walter Benitez, so three goalkeepers: Molina, Foyth, Cuti Romero, Petzela, Balerdi, Otamendi, Medina, and Tagliafico. And that's the back line. Leandro Paredes, Enzo Fernandez, Rodrigo de Paul, Palacios, McAllister. Perrone makes the team officially. Juliano Simeone, Benjamin Dominguez makes it. Thiago Almada, Nico Gonzalez of Juventus also makes it. Angel Correa, Nico Paz, Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, and Santiago Castro. So, yes, some names missing, but some big names as well included. Initial thoughts, everybody, let us know down below in the chat. What do you think of this team? And make sure to hit the like button as well. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Osvaldo, looking at this list, what do you think? Good,
I,
bad?
I like it. I mean, taking into consideration all the injuries that we've been mentioning, Lo Celso and some others. I think we have some new names: Perrone, Nico Dominguez, even Angel Correa who returns, Foyth who returns, Nico Paz, Santiago Castro. I mean, it's good, and it's again against probably the two biggest rivals in South America for Argentina right now. We'll see how many minutes these new players have, because there's are crucial matches, and based on the experience of Scaloni, he doesn't really like to try new young players in these type of matches. Although we mentioned so many times how Argentina, and this we're not jinxing it. I mean, we're already qualified for the World Cup. So as Uruguay and Brazil, even though Brazil is right now, even I think it's in the fifth position or something like that. But still, these matches, even if they were friendlies, and against these two teams, the rivalry it's incredible. So Scaloni definitely would like to put the best starting lineup in both matches.
Yeah, I think so, and I'm a fan of this list. The injuries. We'll talk about the players that didn't make it in the end, the players that did make it, and I'll go through the chat as well. But someone like Juliano Simeone, good for him. Nico Paz, I love to see. Thiago Almada, who just recently scored his first goal for Lyon, his first goal ever in Europe. He's been in very good form for a long time now, even back when he was with Botafogo. Santiago Castro for me is the big surprise because there's been rumors or unofficial reports that maybe he's taken over Alejandro Garnacho's spot in the team. So I like this list. I like the fact that Scaloni is not afraid to give a lot of these youngsters a chance because Castro's young, Nico Paz is young, Thiago Almada, still relatively new to the team, Benjamin Dominguez, Juliano Simeone, Perrone as well. I like this. I'm a big, big fan of seeing these names included.
Yeah, and you have from the Serie A so many players. I mean, you
Yeah,
mentioned Perrone and Paz from Como, Benja Dominguez and Santiago Castro from Bologna, that they're having a great season. The other day they won 5-0. I can't remember against who. Was it Lazio?
Lazio.
Lazio. Yeah, a big team in Italy. Lazio. I mean, uh, and you were saying how maybe Santiago Castro in the place of Garnacho. If you think about it, and then we're gonna jump probably into what would you think it's gonna be the starting lineup for these two matches. But I think without Messi, without Dybala, it's almost sure that Julian and Lautaro are gonna start up front. Like I would bet on it,
Yeah.
and we need at least another striker like Santiago Castro to be a possible replacement.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most. All things considered, obviously you want the best players there. You want Messi there. You want Dybala there. The fact that both of them are not included, and the opponents you mentioned it. It's arguably, or not even arguably, it's Argentina's two biggest opponents, not just in South America but in the world, historically speaking. Of course, Brazil, Uruguay are as tough as it gets for Argentina. It's the clásicos. It's a super clásico for Argentina. And without the two big names, who's going to start? Lautaro, Julian? Do you throw a third one in? Do you go with a winger like a Nico Gonzalez? What do you do? It's going to be very fun. I'm intrigued, to be very honest with you. I'm intrigued to see how Scaloni lines up.
Yeah, if you think about it, both Julian and Lautaro in their teams, Atletico Madrid and Inter, they play with another striker. Even though
Yeah,
Scaloni is not a big fan of playing with two strikers, these two players do it in their team and they do it incredibly. So I think that Scaloni is gonna choose to start with both that are in a great form.
yeah, oh yeah, and both of them are in great form, especially Julian Alvarez, in my opinion, probably the most informed striker, informed forward in the world right now. Let's take a look at the chat, see what everyone is talking about. Rose, hello, Rose. Thank you for joining us. Ariane from Nepal, there you are. And the thrill, been following Como. Nico Paz is having a stellar season. Yes, he has been doing very well, as well as Perrone. Maybe Perrone not as well as Nico Paz, but certainly doing well. Trafalgar Law, Paredes, and Juliano Simeone have been great to watch lately. Side note, I think Simeone gets a lot of minutes in these two games. I really think so. I really think so. Shah Fitness, this team looks promising. Let's hope they can at least get 4 points for these qualifiers. Rian saying Garnacho should have been, though he is not in good form. Rose talking about Enzo Barenachea. Sule, Barco, and Carboni will be back in the team soon. I think so. The thrill, Juliano Simeone ran like hell in the Champions League matches. I don't know if it's him being consistent or Simeone, the father, the coach, being consistently inconsistent. And Mamunar Rashid Oni saying it would be difficult to win without the magician. Argentina showed they could win without Messi. They won the Copa America final essentially without him. So I'm not overly worried. Joel, love to see some Serie A representation. Castro was great against Lazio last weekend. That he certainly was. The thrill, yes, there is. Yes, there is. And Retegi, I don't know. What do you think he would have started? Do you think he'd be in this team right now? Mateo?
Yeah, in this team particular, yes, I think that Mateo Retey, with all the respect with Santiago Castro, who's only 19, 20 years old,
Yeah.
Mateo Retey it's one step over Castro. I mean, Rete is already 26, 27. He's already been the Serie A top goal
Okay.
scorer.
I think he's at 20 goals so far this season, or
Yeah, no,
around
it's incredible what he's doing, but I don't know if he would be a starter when you have Julian and Lautaro. So maybe he made a good decision going to Italy because for sure he's gonna be a starter there.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. BC, La Liga, and Premier League are dominating Europe. Trafalgar, Juliano Simeone is familiar with the Brazilian opponents from facing Barcelona and Madrid. He might be used how Di Maria was used in the right wing 4-3-3 position, in possession, excuse me, and drops to right midfield in a 4-4-2 when out of possession. Ismail, I hope to see Almada and Paz getting more minutes. George saying Garnacho is another player being destroyed by Manchester United, unfortunately, and a big fan of Cholito, so of Juliano Simeone. Overall, I think it's good. But were there any names that maybe you were expecting to get cut and that wasn't Osvaldo?
I was definitely surprised to see Perrone there in the final list, although he's a great player and I'm happy he's there. But when we were talking the last live discussion, I didn't think he was gonna make the team, honestly. Um, but I think that all of them have a well-deserved place in the team. I like that Foyth is there. I've seen a lot of comments lately about maybe Paulo Maffeo as a
Yeah,
possible other right back, but I think Foyth deserves another chance. Again, he didn't have the best performances with the national team, but he's not old. He's still, I mean, he's not as young as he was
he's
in
like
the
27
2022
now,
World Cup.
26.
Probably yes. And the truth is that he's right now being the captain of Villarreal, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Yeah,
he scored a goal the other day, and I think it's good. It's good to see him there.
yeah. Good for Foyth. I have my reservations when it comes to Foyth, but he can play right back, center back, right back. So I think maybe that's a little bit why he was selected. And Trafalgar, there you go, saying shout out to Angel Correa too. He scored 6 very late goals for Atleti. Good sub, 100%. I'll come back to Perrone and Foyth in just a moment because I want to talk a little bit about the players that were cut, right? So Lionel Messi, Paulo Dybala, Alejandro Garnacho, Gonzalo Montiel, Gio Lo Celso, and Claudio Echeverri. Messi, Dybala, unsurprisingly with everything, Lo Celso fitness. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised Montiel was cut, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I have to double check. I think he's injured. I don't
Okay,
know if he's severe injured. I'm gonna make sure. Real Plate played 2 days ago. Let me see if he played.
yeah.
I'm almost sure that I heard he's injured.
Fitness issues. Okay, that could be it.
Yes.
Just because I mean, you not many options at right back. We spoke a little bit about Foyth. Obviously, you mentioned No Maffeo in there, and Montiel tends to play well against South
Yeah.
American teams. He tends to do very well, especially against Brazil. So I was kind of surprised he wasn't cut. Manumar asking about Claudio Echeverri. Echeverri's cut. Um, Let us know, guys. Let us know down in the comments. What do you think?
Yeah.
Were you expecting maybe someone to make it that didn't?
Montiel was replaced at halftime in 2 days ago against Riestra, and based on what I read, I think
Injured?
he's injured. Yeah. So basically, on that list, the only ones that are just for football reasons are Echeverri and Garnacho out.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, for Echeverri, I understand. I really understand. And Garnacho as well. And if we look at, let's say, the more attack minded players that have been called up, I mean, you have Castro, you have Lautaro, you have Julian, you have Nico Paz, Correa, Nico Gonzalez, Almada, Simeone. That's what, 7, 8 players. And I'm probably missing some as well.
Yeah. I think when we come to the final list, always have to take into consideration the characteristics of each players that are cut and those that are in. For example, a player like Garnacho in this current team that could play around that position with that characteristic would be Benja Dominguez, which is a
Yeah.
surprise if you think about it. Benja Dominguez over Garnacho. But the truth is that based on form, Dominguez is over Garnacho in this last month.
One 100%, and this is despite the fact that Garnacho scored on the weekend versus Leicester. But even with that goal, not in the best of forms for United.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
on that left side, you can also have Nico Gonzalez, different from Garnacho. Nico Gonzalez can also defend a little bit more. Giuliano Simeone could play in both sides as a right winger, left winger, or midfielder. And we know that in the end, Scaloni likes a little bit more those players that can also defend and not only attack.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think someone, you look at this list and there's some good players, and someone like Simeone, for example, I mentioned this, or I posted about this on X yesterday, before yesterday. I said, Juliano Simeone is like Nico Gonzalez on the right side, on the left side. You have them both; they're both versatile. Nico Gonzalez can technically play left back, or has played left back, left wing back, left midfield, anywhere on the left hand side. Same for Simeone. So I'm not surprised that someone like Simeone is in there. Someone like Garnacho, going back to him, is not offering you too much, at least right now. And this could be good for him. Dropping him, letting him know, hey, there are other options. You have to step it up. You have to do better. Um, I'm, out of all these players, and I don't know about you, Osvaldo, but I'm excited to see Nico Paz. I'm excited to see Thiago Almada, because I think they're going to get a lot of minutes. I think they're going to get a lot of minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. I really don't know. If you ask me, if it was another two type of matches, maybe with rivals not like Brazil and Uruguay, I would tell you yes, especially if there's no Messi, no Dybala. But I think it also will depend on the result. I don't think, and we maybe might agree that we don't see them as starters, Almada and
No, no,
Paz.
no, not starters. No.
And yeah, and it all depends of how the match is going.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking to if the match, if we're winning, uh, I I would expect maybe Scaloni trying a back line of five and including one more defender. And if that's the case, uh, just leaving Julian and Lautaro on top, the three midfielders with Enzo, De Paul, and McAllister, and maybe one more center back or something like that. In that case, maybe Nico Paz and Thiago Almada wouldn't have so many minutes. I would love to see them have some minutes, but I think it will be based on the score during the match.
yeah. Well, no, for sure it's going to depend. For sure, I just mean with the injuries to Messi, to Dybala, it's going to open up the door for them, and maybe not specifically against Uruguay, especially away from home, and that's going to be extremely difficult in my opinion. Maybe the more difficult match out of the two. Um, but versus Brazil, depending on how things go, I can see them. Someone like Thiago Almada, who can move the ball forward. Someone like a Nico Paz, who's still young, unafraid, raw talent. It could be what we need. It's going to be combative for sure. It's going to be a very physical match. Both games, they always are. But now that you mentioned maybe a back line of five defenders, I could see that. I could see Simeone
Yeah,
doing that, or
yeah.
switching at one point.
Scaloni, Simeone. I
Excuse me,
Yeah,
Scaloni.
yeah. Simeone has a lot of Argentines, but still coaches Atletico Madrid.
No, of
Uh,
course, Scaloni,
but
yes.
yeah, and I want to ask you a question because I know you're a big fan of Nico Gonzalez, and we kind of without Messi, without Dybala, it's as we were saying. I think that the team, the lineup, it's unless there's any surprise, we'll see Julian Laudar on top. Then maybe the three midfielders that always play, the Paul, McAllister, Enzo, and then probably Nico Gonzalez. But my question is, I think Giuliano Simeone is right now in better form than Nico Gonzalez. He can play like that. We know how fast he can run, how much he can defend, but also attack. Would you be surprised to see Giuliano Simeone starting over Nicolas Gonzalez?
Maybe. Look, would I be surprised? Nothing surprises me in a good way. Of course, I'm saying this with Scaloni anymore. Out of the two, Simeone is much more in form, as you mentioned. It's gonna depend. I could maybe see them both starting. If you have Nico Gonzalez playing as left back, you could potentially have Simeone playing on the other side, depending,
Yeah.
how things, play out, and how Scaloni wants to balance the team. I wouldn't be surprised. No, absolutely not. And if that were the case, then you could bring on Nico Gonzalez as a substitute. You have two players that are unselfish, that track back, that do the dirty work, that help defend, and at the same time carry the ball forward down the wing. So they're two excellent players. I don't know what you think, but I wouldn't be surprised. No.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think because, I mean, the starting lineup we can say that it is Dibu Martinez.
Yeah.
Then the back line, Molina, for sure. I would say Cuti Romero if he's in good.
But
Yeah, if
if
he's
he's
not.
fit, and that
Yeah, if
brings
he's
up this
fit.
comment here, I doubt Romero can play 180 minutes. Do you risk
Yeah,
Romero versus Brazil or versus Uruguay or
that's a
both?
good question. Probably against Uruguay. It's
Probably
gonna be
against.
a more physical match.
Yeah.
I would think. Um, and yeah, Cuti Romero left the field in the 60th minute. I think the other day with Tottenham,
Yeah.
but it was before because he played like 2 or 3 matches in just a couple of days. So it made sense.
No, it did. And next to him is going to be interesting. Let us know, everybody. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Who, if it is Kuti, who do you start next to him? Do you go with Otamendi, considering how he got, let's say, exposed versus Uruguay last time, or do you go with
Yeah.
someone like Balerdi?
Yeah, I think Scaloni is gonna choose Otamendi. I even would choose Otamendi because he's
Yeah,
the most experienced one, and it's a tough match against a tough rival where you need experience. So I would think that unless something happens and one of them is not fit, I think Couto, Romero, and Otamendi are gonna start, and Tagliafico in the left back. It's also another certainty. I mean,
yeah,
the only other left back that we have is Facundo Medina, who's not even a complete left back. He's more of a center back.
yeah. No, no, I don't see Medina starting. To be honest, I really absolutely don't.
Yeah,
Trafalgar agreeing with Osvaldo, and Shah Fitness also agreeing, saying Otamendi for sure. But a great point earlier on by Ismail saying, I doubt Romero can play 180 minutes. Ismail saying Balerdi most likely to replace for Romero, but I want Romero and Balerdi. There you are. Manumar is saying this is a great opportunity for the newcomers, and we are ready to watch the next superstars, hopefully 100%, my friend. Trafalgar asking about Maffeo. Is he injured? No, he's not. Pablo Maffeo is not injured for Majorca. Not at all. And Hemlock, hello Hemlock, saying Nico Pass could be the trump card. Could be. Could certainly be. And now, when we get to midfield, right, and we spoke a little bit about the back line, getting to the midfield, eventually you'd like to think midfield and up, someone's going to wear the number 10 shirt. Who is going to wear it? That's the big question, because I already have my answer. Who I think should wear it and will wear it, and Ismail got it right on the money, at least for me. I think it's
Alexis.
McAllister.
Yeah, yeah, I would say also Alexis. I think it could be either Julian, it could be McAllister, or Lautaro Martinez, who, if I'm not mistaken, he wears the number 10 with
With
Inter.
Inter.
But this is a personal opinion. I like to see the number 10 as not only someone that score goals, like could be our strikers, but also someone that can be a playmaker. I
Yeah,
mean, we have a player like Messi that did everything in just one player, but
yeah,
I think McAllister as the playmaker of Argentina, who also wears the number 10 in an important club as Liverpool,
of course.
he should be our number 10.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the same as you. I think Alexis. Other than that, looking at the team, maybe Angel Correa. He's worn the number 10 before versus, I want to say, Bolivia
Yeah, I
several
remember.
years back. So maybe Correa, maybe McAllister. I saw some shouts earlier on about Thiago Almada. People saying Thiago Almada could wear the number 10. I doubt it. I think it's going to be between Correa and McAllister. But you mentioned Lautaro, and he does wear the number 10. So certainly a
Yeah.
possibility.
Dybala wore it last time Messi was not there, right?
Yeah. So that's why no Messi, no Dybala. Who's third now? And
Yeah,
with no Di Maria, who's going
yeah,
to wear the number 11?
yeah,
Because Lo Celso's not there either.
yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
So
I think the number 10 has to be a starter for sure. I mean, Angel Correa could be, and Nico Paz, Thiago Almada, but the truth is that, in my opinion, if an opponent sees the number 10 of the Argentina jersey and you
yeah,
see it in the bench, it's different to see it, as a starter. So I would love to see McAllister, to be honest.
100%. And you're not just saying that as a Boca fan.
No, I mean
I know.
McAllister. he didn't really play much in Boca. He played a couple of matches
No, I know.
for a couple of months as a loan. And I think we lost against River Plate. One of the many times we lost against River Plate in the last couple of years. But yeah, he's a Boca Juniors fan for sure. It was his father. But no, I mean, if Julian Alvarez, a River Plate guy, wears it, I would be happy to.
No, I know. I'm just teasing you, Osvaldo. Just teasing you. But let's see. So we got Alexis here. Trafalgar agrees. George saying Rodrigo de Paul. That would be very surprising. That would be surprising for me. Manimar saying Alexis McAllister. The Thrill saying Lautaro or McAllister.
Many saying
And
Germán Petzela too, right?
excuse me?
Many saying Germán Petzela.
Petzela as well. Maybe Petzela.
This chat doesn't like Petzela.
No. It's not Petzela there. Chavinez will be captain. I think it has to be Otamendi. I think Otamendi captains the team. And if ever Otamendi's not playing, maybe Dibu or De Paul. I can't remember. There was one time maybe Otamendi wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who captained the team. But
I
was it
don't
versus
remember.
Venezuela at one point? There was a game recently, if I'm not mistaken, when Otamendi was substituted out for Balerdi, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't remember who the captain was. Maybe
Yeah, I
Messi
don't
was still
remember.
playing. I'm confused. I'm confused. There's so many names.
That's a good one too. If Otamendi
Tagliafico.
doesn't play, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say Tagliafico is another one who could captain.
Yeah,
Otamendi, Tagliafico. There you go. I forgot Tagliafico. Good shouts. Good shouts. Who's gonna take the free kicks? Julian, Paredes.
I don't think Paredes is really gonna have many minutes, but yeah, McAllister, Julian.
Julian takes them. Well, I know Julian takes corner kicks for Atletico. McAllister's obviously very good at set pieces. Paredes as well, but Paredes in all likelihood probably won't start. Enzo Fernandez. Enzo's another one.
Yeah, I don't know. Lautaro doesn't
No.
do free kicks.
No.
But De Paul either.
No, McAllister.
I
love these questions. The hard hitting questions coming in from the chat.
Yes. Yeah, it could be McAllister or Julian. I think one of those two.
McAllister or Julian? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. But
I don't remember Enzo. Well, I remember Enzo scoring a free kick against Dibu Martinez.
Yes,
With
this
Chelsea,
season.
remember? That was a good one.
This season, I believe that was in was it Carabao Cup or FA Cup? It was in the Premier League, I don't believe. But yes, I remember that this season. Hey, Argentina have options. I'm just saying, Argentina certainly have options. One last thing before we get to another thing. The midfield, do you think it's a 4-3-3? You think it's a 4-4-2? Or the rest of the team?
Oh, I think it's a 4-4-2. With the three midfielders that always play, and then probably Nico Gonzalez as a left midfielder. It's true that Nico Gonzalez has been playing more as a number 9, or sometimes even in the right side with Juventus, but I think with Scaloni he can go back to play as a left midfielder, and then Julian and Lautaro on top. And something that I wouldn't be surprised at all, as I mentioned before, it's at some point of the match, or even starting against either Brazil or Uruguay, to see a back line of 5, 3 midfielders, and the 2 on top with Nahuel Molina, who we know that he can go attack a lot. Maybe not so much Nico Tagliafico, but as you said, maybe Nico Gonzalez, have him as a left back in that line of 5. Anything can happen.
Yeah, Scaloni has the names. He has the options. I'm curious how he plays it because, as we mentioned earlier, Cuti Romero probably is not 100% fit, but he's obviously picked. So if he's substituted out, is it Balerdi? Does Scaloni change things up? Is it a back 5, as you mentioned? Is it a back 3? And it's going to be a fun one. Argentina's 2 biggest matches, literally the 2 biggest matches that they have are coming up. And looking at this, Shafin is saying 4-4-2 with Julian and Lautaro. So my question to you is this, and then we'll get to another thing, questioning the chat, of course. It's a 4-4-2. Argentina's either whatever scenario you wanna bring in. Who do you take out, Lautaro and Julian, and who do you bring in? Because that's the interesting part. Do you give a chance to someone like Santiago Castro? Do you bring Correa in, who is more versatile? Who do you go with? And Scaloni has the options.
as we were saying before, it will depend on what's the score of the match. But I would love to see Angel Correa. I think he didn't have as much time with the national team as he deserved. It's true that in his position, there's so many great players in Argentina. But I would love to see more of Correa at some point, especially now that we don't have Messi and Dybala.
100%. I agree, and he scored some big goals for Atletico, some big late goals, some winners as well. So I'd love to see
Yeah.
Correa.
And he became kind of a specialist with Atletico Madrid since he's not a starter to just come from the bench, have a couple of minutes and score goals and play well in just a couple of minutes. So he's used to it.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Manumar saying 4-4-2 would be better without Leo. The boss knows well. Sharik Khan, thank you, Sharik, for joining us. Have you discussed who will wear the number 10? You just missed it. We just discussed it. But you can always go back and see and let us know your thoughts as well. Thank you, Sharik, for the kind words as well. Ismail, we keep selecting Pazzella, Nota, Mendy. And Shafin is saying, against Brazil, we will need Nico Gonzalez or Simeone to guard Vinicius. Yeah.
That's a good one because you have Nahuel Molina on that side that even in Atletico Madrid, when the Cholo Simeone tried to uh, play against Real Madrid, he didn't choose Molina to guard Vinicius. I think it was Llorente. So, yes, Molina, when you always compare him with Montiel, Scaloni always chose Montiel when it comes to
Brazil.
defend more, right? And Vinicius, I mean, it's a great player. I sometimes don't like
His
how
antics.
he overreacts or exaggerates everything, but we can't. He's one of the top 5 players in the world for sure, without a doubt, and he's very dangerous. And again, who's gonna guard him? Because now, if it's not Nahuel Molina, uh, Juan Foyth,
I
who
mean,
can, yeah, I don't know.
Foyth kind of struggled. I know historically Foyth has done pretty well against Vinicius, but he struggled this weekend.
The other day, yeah.
Yeah, he struggled. So I don't know. Maybe it's a two-man job, Molina and maybe Simeone starts as well. If it's a 4-3-3, you have Simeone on the right and he drops back to help defend. I don't know. I don't know how Scaloni plans on playing this.
Now that they mentioned Chef Fitness, the Vinicius thing that we haven't thought because we're talking about Argentina, but not really about the opponents, and we know that Scaloni chooses a lot based on the opponents.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised at all, again, to see a line of 5 to guard Vinicius.
very
You have
possible.
Molina, and then you have another center back there just to do a 2v1.
Yeah, to help guard. Why not? That's a smart idea as well. And we've seen, as you mentioned, Scaloni adapts based on the opponent as well sometimes. So that'd be interesting to see a backline of 5. Ismail saying Vinicius versus Maffeo, Scaloni missed it. There's been a lot of that in this season. Maffeo really having a go at times to onto Vinicius and Bellingham and some of the Real Madrid players. Um, the thrill saying Vinicius is a professional diver when not balling. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. Um, one last thing before we completely wrap things up. George saying Vinicius will be rolling around on the ground half the time. Talking about rolling, and no disrespect, I say this as a Neymar fan. Neymar not in the team for Brazil. He got cut.
No Neymar, no Messi. We're mentioning how there were some rumors. The tickets to the match that is going to be in the Monumental between Argentina and Brazil, there were rumors of being ridiculously high.
Yeah.
And I want to see if maybe tomorrow they're going to be on sale. We'll see if they're that expensive. I hope they're not. I'm going to go there, as I was telling you, Roy. I'm flying on Friday. I'm actually flying. I'm going to miss the second half of the match against Uruguay. Hopefully, the Wi-Fi is good enough for me to see the score after the match against Uruguay. But then against Brazil, without Messi, without Neymar, I think the prices of the tickets are gonna go a little bit lower than what
I,
the rumors said.
yeah, I think so, and I hope so. I truly, truly hope so. I'm not a fan of tickets being expensive and especially crazy expensive, and especially in a country like Argentina right now. Um, so hopefully, yes, it means no Messi, no Neymar, but hopefully it means the ticket prices do go down because, as you mentioned, it's been rumored it's going to be very high. So hopefully that goes down. The thrill saying, I thought Neymar retired from the team. No, he was selected in the preliminary list. but he missed the Copa America due to injury as well, so that's probably why. One last thing to get to, Osvaldo. I'll let you have it. The floor is yours. The Mundo Albiceleste documentary for Uruguay and Brazil.
Exactly. I think we mentioned it briefly in the last slide, but we're trying to do a documentary about the matches against Uruguay, against Brazil, of all of you from all over the world. We always say how our community has from over 80 countries big fans of Argentina, and we just want to showcase that of you guys recording from wherever you are, India, Bangladesh, the US, England, Nigeria, from all around the world. Just try to, I don't know, if you go and watch the match with some friends, try to record a little bit of it, as much as you want, selfie mode, or just record, not even record yourself if you want to. If you're gonna go to a bar and you know there's gonna be Argentinian fans there, just record a little bit about it, and then you can send it to our email that it's in our website. Roy, I don't know if you have it there, the email, if you
Yeah, Mundo
remember the
Albiceleste.
address.
Yeah, Mundo Albiceleste 10 or 10. So the numbers. So Mundo Albiceleste 10 at gmail.com.
Exactly, and the idea is just to put all these videos together and make a little documentary for YouTube about how the Argentina community, not in Argentina, around the whole world, are crazy for Argentina. We thought these two matches were gonna be massive because against Uruguay, against Brazil, they're gonna be great.
No, they're going to be massive. And let us know, send us a video, whether you're watching alone or with friends. If you're superstitious or not, let us know. Send the video. Send the video. I'm very fairly superstitious, kind of have been, and I could, we've spoken about that in the past, but let us know. I tend to watch matches alone. I don't watch it with people, or if I do, it's with a very select group of people. I tend to watch it alone. So if yes, let us know. Let us know. Send us a video. Once more, the email is mundoalbiceleste10 at gmail.com. Oh, mundoalbiceleste10 at gmail.com. The thrill, unrelated question. Go for it. And Adriano saying the GOAT. Adriano the GOAT. We need an Atletico player to guard Vinicius so we can make him cry. I mean, Scaloni has a lot of them. A lot of them. And Scaloni has a lot of Atletico Madrid players, in the team. Yeah, a lot of them. And Joel saying, great idea. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you for the support. But yeah, so Argentina facing Uruguay on Friday in Montevideo. That's going to be a big one. And then after that on Tuesday versus Brazil. So Osvaldo, you're not going to be joining for the post game, of course. You're going to be flying out to Argentina to hopefully go to the game.
Yes, I hope so. I was telling you before how I arrived to Buenos Aires the 25th. So before that, I'm going to Foz do Iguaçu, which is between Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Buenos Aires that 25th, which is the day of the match. And without even knowing, my parents booked just an Airbnb close to the Monumental, which is the stadium. So we're walking distance from there. I hope I can get the tickets. I've been this week just trying to refresh, the site, but there haven't been any news. But the rumors then they usually do it 1 week before the match, which is next Tuesday. So tomorrow, Tuesday, there should be on sale. So yeah, hopefully we're there. We can record some stuff for Mundo Albiceleste, of course, as always. So make sure to check our social media, our site.
Of course, YouTube, everywhere. That'd be a great idea, and hopefully you get to go. Honestly, I mean, it's not every day you get to see Argentina versus Brazil, especially in Argentina, especially a World Cup qualifier. So hopefully you get to go, and tickets are not expensive, or at least too expensive. Adriano asking, Dybala is down to injury, pretty much. Dybala is down to injury, and the thrill. Do either of you two collect jerseys? That's actually a good idea. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know if I collect. I certainly have, a decent amount, and the 30 something, I think something like that. Jerseys have a fair bit. But yeah, you can't see them, but they're kind of there.
You have 30 jerseys, you said.
30 some and the 30s.
Oh, then you for sure you're collecting jerseys, man. If that's not to collect jerseys, what is it?
I don't know. 30 some. There's still a lot I'd like to add. But yeah, we could certainly do a video, maybe just talking about our favorite jerseys and stuff like that. Maybe when the new ones come out. So
Yeah.
Thank you for that question, the Thrill. I like it. I like that one. Thrill saying, been collecting like crazy myself the past year. May launch a channel in the near future showcasing. I'd love to see. I'd love to see that, the Thrill. Do let us know if you do. And yeah, on that note, any final thoughts, Osvaldo, before we wrap things up?
I'm very excited for this double match today. I think, as you were saying, we're gonna see new names playing, having some minutes, which is always good. Uh, and yeah, again, we're already kind of qualified, but to see Argentina beat Uruguay and Brazil would be amazing, incredible. We know how these countries can get just by winning Argentina once. I mean, we saw it with Uruguay last time they beat us. They've been the whole last year just saying how Darwin Nunez have score goals against you and stuff, and that happens with every single national team that beat us because we're the World Cup champions, Copa America champions. So hopefully we don't let these national teams say that to us for a couple of more months, you know?
No, I like that. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. It's number one versus number two in South America. Argentina ranked number one in the qualifiers, 25 points. Uruguay on 20 points. Argentina 8 wins, Uruguay 5. Brazil 18 points in 5th spot. So that's going to be. They have to win that one versus us, and I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I say this, but knocking on wood, but we'll see. We'll see. On that note, I'd like to say a big, big thank you to everybody for joining us, whether it was on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, wherever it was. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as a new video drops. We're probably going to end up doing maybe one last video before the game to fully preview potentially. And then after that, we'll be doing a video after the game. Either going to be alone or I'll have a special guest I'm trying to bring in. Because Osvaldo is going to be on a flight over to Argentina. So on that note, a big thank you, everybody. Once more, as always, my name is Roy Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, joined by Osvaldo Godoy of Mundo Albiceleste.com. Until next time, take care, everybody.